Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Dinner where we discuss TV shows. We just finished up Bodies on Netflix. Now we're starting up a new, I guess, series, if you want to call it that. We're watching Dr. Death, which is a Peacock show. So today we're going to be talking about episodes 1 and 2.
1 and 2 of the first season of Dr. Death. Yes. I know there's a second season, which if you're watching it on Peacock, you get like every time it like stops to a commercial, it's like, oh, like the new season of Dr. Death and everything. It's like, all right, well, I'm watching the first one, man.
Hey, let me ease into it.
Yeah. But this one, I guess we all know the guy that plays the evil doctor. He's the guy that plays the main character in Fringe. I don't know what the guy's name is.
I don't know the man. It's like Seventh Heaven. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
So that's the guy. Huh?
I think he was in Seventh Heaven also, right? That was like his claim to fame.
Maybe. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I know him from Fringe, so that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the safe bet.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. What would you think about the story? Is like, we know it starts off the first episode and the second episode, kind of things are traumatized. It's almost like sort of like the thing with like the Dahmer thing on Netflix, where it's like, this is a shitty story that is actually true, but there is some like changes to, I guess, make it more as you need to make it more dramatic for a TV show.
It has to be gripping. You want people to actually sit and watch a full season or however many seasons they end up having. I enjoyed it. It was. I like that. Episode 1 is, hey, this is where we're at currently. We see how bad of a doctor this person is, but let's give him a chance. Episode 2, they were like, no, this dude's a piece of shit. And then they give his his lineage of how he became a doctor and just all the bullshit he did in order to become a doctor. So I like that they did that. Yeah.
You kind of see in the second episode, you kind of see what drives his inability or ability to be a doctor, and then inability, or like, because the whole question, and that's the first kind of thing I have for the first episode, it's got to be very difficult to understand the difference between this guy sucks at his job and he's a bad surgeon, or he's doing this on purpose. And it's like, you got to kind of like look through a lot of things, and it kind of goes down the route of like, they kind of perform their own investigation to kind of figure out whether or not this is just incompetence or something, or whether or not this dude's deliberately doing this stuff.
I'm still confused.
Yeah, in the second episode, you see where he's kind of coming from. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm still confused. Like, is he? It has to be incompetent. Or no, I mean, not incompetent. He has to be doing this on purpose. Like, he has to get a thrill out of doing this to these people, as messed up as that sounds.
Right, like in the second episode, we're finding out that there's a possibility. I don't know if it's called dyslexia, but he kind of doesn't know the difference, or his left from right. Mm-hmm. You see it in the football kind of like scene, but then also you kind of see it. You see it in the operating room where he doesn't understand left and right. I don't know if that's dyslexia. I can't remember. Like, dyslexia is like you read stuff backwards. Yeah. Or you see words reverse, basically. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's like in terms of the orientation of your left and right. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. But so we know that there's, and I think there's also like an emphasis on like his mental health, where he's grown up needing to be kind of measured by the people around him. Mm-hmm. And his dad does that, or so to speak. I think a lot of people do kind of blame parents for a lot of things, and I don't know. His dad seems pretty cool. Like, he's a physical therapist, and he's kind of a douchebag to him. He's like, I'm going to be an MD, not
Which
you.
Is crazy.
You're not an MD.
But his dad kept it real with him. His dad was like, I can't see you being a doctor. Like, you shouldn't do this.
Right. It's like, what do you want? Like, he has like overconfidence. In the first episode, you see that he's like very overconfident, and it's like, it's almost overconfidence to a fault where it's like, right? Like, you wouldn't want that as like a person that's gonna. I wouldn't want that that's going to be cutting me open and kind of like doing things
nah.
inside my body. And he's like crazy. Like, I'm a miracle worker. You're going to be walking out of here thinking I'm a totally different person and stuff. It's like, come on. I think
Like,
we
just
need
do
the
your
Alec
job.
Baldwin character where it's like, yeah, just be confident, but then also tell me the real thing. It's like, am I, like, sadly, the guy's telling the husband that, like, your wife is dead, not she's sleeping.
Yeah. Which is so sad because it should not have even gotten that far. Like, it was
Right?
it was a routine, to a certain extent, like a routine, simple surgery, and it turned into a death. Like, how do you go from A to Z and not A to B?
Right? I don't know.
And then
What do you think about the characters?
I like the characters. I wonder how often interactions between surgeons and nurses are that difficult.
Volatile.
Yeah, volatile is a better word. Yeah, because it shouldn't have been that. It should have been very like, hey, I'm the nurse. I'm here to help where I can. I'm here to help you, and he made it as volatile as possible, just because he could.
Well, I don't know. You kind of see it in. I'm assuming there's people out there that like we no matter what have come into contact with people that like think better of themselves in this kind of like grandiose, and this doctor is that person. But you kind of see it in like when he was also trying to play football, where it's like it's all about him. Where in the operating room and then also on the football field, it's like it's a team effort. Sometimes one person can't win the football game. In the operating room, I'm assuming one person is not the only person that's contributing to the thing. There's many different. Why would they all be standing around if they're not important to the situation?
They're just cheering him on in the back. You got it, Doc. You got it.
Yeah. You're the one that knows how to do this. We have no clue.
You know everything. Like, I doubt that's the case.
Yeah.
But that's what it seems like he wants. It's just that pat on the back every time he does something.
Yeah, it does. It seems like he's almost like a childlike kind of understanding of things where it's like he needs to be rewarded or given a golden star for everything that he's done. And you see it where he kind of like he blasts out his like resume to the husband that is like concerned about having this surgery for his wife and stuff. And it's like, well, I don't need to know why you're able to do this. It's like just kind of have better bedside manner, I guess.
But back to your question, I like the character so far. Dr. Death is a piece of shit, but all the rest of the characters I'm enjoying. So I'm wondering where things are going to go with Alec Baldwin and what is that other actor's
Christian
name?
Slater.
That is Christian Slater. Okay. And Christian Slater's characters. I'm wondering what they find out about him that's going to get him fired or whatever, put in jail, hopefully.
Yeah, because it does. Well, the first episode does start off like that. It shows the Dr. Death character. I forget what his name is, like Duntsch, whatever.
Oh, Duntsch. That's right.
Yeah, he starts off 5 years in the future, basically, or present time, and he's in prison. Basically, it says inmate on his, and he's getting a checkup. And it's like, I wonder if he's like, hey, tell me your credentials if be checking me up.
You can't be touching that.
But
you're not
I know, right?
Come on.
So we do know that he goes to prison and stuff, or is kind of. But then, like the whole like aspect that they had to go to the medical review board, and it's like, well, like, is he still gonna like? He just had a bad week. It's like, all right, bad week. Of 3 people almost dying. That's a bad week. I'm pretty sure.
Over simple surgeries too, like things that the nurse was like, it should have taken like 2 hours. It took him 4, and they're like, yo, you lost a bunch of blood. Like this person lost a bunch of blood, and you're just like shrugging your shoulders over it.
Yeah. Now, like, do you consider this a true crime? Like, we know a lot of people are like kind of like obsessed with true crime and stuff. Like we listen to podcasts, we watch. Netflix has like gone overboard with like all their true crime documentaries and TV shows. this is technically a true crime thing, right? But this feels different, where it's more personal.
I would say like scripted true crime, like the Dahmer. Like Dahmer was the same way, like scripted true crime, so that you can add in that little fluff where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's like, but the hard part, it's like this seems, I don't know why, it's like this seems a little bit too more too. Like Patty was watching the first episode with me yesterday, and she was like, this is like too much, because it's like, this is like everyday things, like where like you go to the doctor and you like have to trust them. And it's not like you like brush up with like a serial killer and like they're bad people because they're bad people and stuff. Like your doctor is supposed to be for you and everything, and I think that's like what's the most scary part. It's like you're just going to, but you're the most vulnerable, I think, and it's like you're getting put to sleep and you're going to be cut open. It's like, all right, I have no other way to kind of go around this, and then you put all your trust into this person, and it kind of shows that like that breaks down and stuff, and to the worst part of it. But I don't know,
but I think it just shows the realism of it, of like, yeah, we go to doctors and lawyers and all of these professionals, and we hope that they have our best interest in mind, but that's not always the case.
Right. I guess everyone's still human. Like that's the whole, like the medical board was like, oh, people have mistakes and stuff like that. Yeah, everyone has mistakes, but it's like, where's that limit? And do medical professionals have a stricter limit and everything or whatever? So
because they are practicing, so they might.
Right.
I think that might be how they get away with things. It's like, oh, it's practice. It's like, that's the scary part to me, is like, it's practice, but you've been doing this. Hopefully you've been doing this for a while.
Right. Well, another question I have, it's like, in terms of like going forward into this season, we're going to find out more as to like, we saw what triggers him to go into medical. Like he wants to kind of do this research on stem cell stuff, or application of stem cells for like cancer research, I think. And then he goes in and becomes a surgeon, and he goes and that's the whole thing with like Alec Baldwin's character and Christian Slater's character. They're like, he went to very prestigious schools and programs and then got like fellowships, so he should be adequate in doing what he needs to do. But then it's like, all right, is this guy like just a giant con artist that he's able to like convince people that like, oh yeah, like I'll figure it out, like let me just do the work and then I'll figure it out, like I couldn't figure it out here during my fellowship, but let me just figure it out like down the road. I'm pretty sure
that's how it feels. Like the fact that they called other medical professionals and they were like, oh no, that's him, he's great, like I know he's great. That feels like his incompetence should have been caught early on. Like, hey, let's put you in this fellowship a little longer, or hey, let's keep you in school a little longer so that you can really refine your skill and not be where he's at or where we find him at in the show and messing up simple surgeries and possibly killing people.
Right.
So it seems like
it's
probably
like
is a con artist.
Yeah, and it's like also you have other people to blame other than him. Like he's the person at the top you blame because he's actually deliberately doing this. But then why was he able to get to this certain point in his life? And the other people that kind of let him slide by and stuff. It's like can you pay enough money and just get a medical degree?
Slide by, and they still have his back. Like, oh no, he's good. Like I worked with him, he's good. Yeah,
right. It's like they're not like passing the buck. Like, oh man, that sucks for you. We had to deal with him and we got rid of him.
Like, no, he was good when I was with him. I don't know what happened after that. It's like, you saw how bad he was. Come on.
I didn't see how many episodes this season has. We know this with the second season. We know that it's like a self-contained story within each season and stuff. But I'm assuming this is like 10 episodes, right?
I'm thinking 10. 10 is like a good stopping point. After 10, it just becomes too crazy.
And these are 45 minutes. These are 45 minutes, and so they're pretty easy. Yeah, they're easy watches. I was gonna say.
So season, 8 episodes.
8 episodes. Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, easy episodes, because I think there's that suspense and everything. Like the first episode, it was very like edge of your seat, where you're like, holy crap, like this guy's like doing all this stuff. Like you feel for every family that comes into contact with them. And then the second episode, you're like, I know they're trying to make us feel for this guy, but I really don't care. Or it's
Like,
it's making me hate him more. That's
That could be deliberate also.
I don't know.
Like you
I'm
see
excited
how bad he is, and then they continue on like, hey, this is where it started. Do you like him, or is he still a piece of crap to you?
Yeah, let's show you some more of,
Let's dive a little
how
bit
shitty
deeper.
he is.
Exactly. Let's dive a little bit deeper on his shittiness.
Yeah, I'm excited. This seems like a very good kind of like. Sadly, it's a real story, and it's like it's made for entertainment and everything to like convey a story also. But yeah, I think this is well put together. The Dahmer thing was a good kind of series itself. Yeah. Even though the subject matter was like very hard to, it's like you have to like watch one and then be done with like the show for like a week and then like go back to it and stuff, and like, or like watch like the Power Rangers or something that's happy after you watch like one episode of Dahmer. I felt like
when I watched Dahmer, I called it the triple D. I had a daily dose of Dahmer. So I'd watch one episode a day just so I was like not too involved in the show.
Right.
So I might have to do that with this
I
also.
don't know. It may be. Yeah, because I watched one yesterday and I watched one earlier today, and I was like, it was a little easier to kind of take in and not like back to back, like, oh my God. And then like you're thinking about like your anxiety goes up. It's like, oh, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
He better not be my doctor.
Right? I don't know. I'm excited. I think I need to watch like two more episodes. I already recommended it to my mom, who's like really big into like true crime and kind of stuff like this. But right now, that's like the only person I'll be like down to recommend it to. Yeah. I think I need to watch a little bit more just to like, all right, like, is everybody that I know need to watch this and all that?
Yeah, and I'm hoping it's not in the same vein as Bodies. Like, I'm hoping the entire season is good and not 5 or 6 episodes into the show and we're like, what the hell happened? So I'm going to wait it out, wait until we get to the end before I decide to recommend it. But so far, it's been good.
Right? These first 2 episodes have been really good. And yeah, it'd be kind of sad if they have like a lot of fluff and then you get to the end of it and everything. Like Bodies did have that one episode with the fluff and everything. But I don't know. We'll see. We're going to watch 2 more episodes and then come back with another episode of TV Dinner. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, let us know if you've seen the first 2 episodes of season 1's Dr. Death on Peacock. And let us know your thoughts. I don't know about theories. We already kind of know the end of the story, probably, if we look on Wikipedia. But please subscribe to Saturday Night Popcorn and like this video, please.